Hey YouTube. Um, this is a serious matter, and I haven't shared this with anyone, but I feel comfortable sharing it with my YouTube family. And I will say that I'm okay, but I just been through a whole lot of stuff, and from abuse and physically, mentally, and financial abuse as well. And I can say about 2 years ago, I went through a situation where Facebook meet, I will say that, and that's where I met someone that wanted to pursue me or what have you. I never will say that I would say it was an ex, because it was more of delusion. And then it was more of me being nice, like I have always been, and trying to be nice and be understanding of people. And my ex, his name started with a D. I don't want to put his full name out because I do know that he's the type of person that will sue me. He will sue me, stop at anything to get back at me. And I will say it's been two years now, 2 years, going on 3. And long story short, I was on Facebook Meet, and when I was on Facebook Meet, then it was a situation where I just was speaking with a friend of mine, and she actually gave me the idea, said that I should go on Facebook Date or Facebook Meet. And once I did that, then there came this gentleman, and I will say he was a master manipulator now. And I was just going through a time, I'll be honest, in my life where it just was easy to just get in my ear. But I was able to, make sure that I did everything that I needed to do to be good or whatever. And it was a situation, like I said, it was more desperation on his end, because I always was a person that I always worked. I always paid my bills and things of that nature. So in my old apartments, Sycamore Lake apartments, crappy apartments. If anybody gonna be listening to this that stay in the same state, city, Memphis, and the state, Tennessee, never move there. I had bad experience there, but I mean, like I said, I just made it the best due to with my lease. And then going back to the situation, so Facebook me, and then it was just a manipulation situation, because I finally was able, I finally started talking to him on the phone. Now, be mindful that I always had a boyfriend, and I was very, very dishonest to my boyfriend. And I don't know. I mean, I can't even say why I did, but probably because, I didn't want to be by myself, and that was the wrong thing to do. So, wrong thing to do, and got me the wrong results. And this situation, I say that I talked to that man on the phone for 2 weeks. And then he just, in his head, said that we in a relationship. And then tricked me to thinking that if I let him stay in my house for 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the most, then he'll be moving, and then he will, be moving, and then he'll be moving out of my house, and then he'll try to get, a place of his own. That didn't happen. So I'm still talking to my boyfriend, and mind you, that man was nowhere near my bedroom. He was on my couch. And I, wanted to make sure that everything else was going good and all that stuff. And the only time that I would actually see him is when I had to come in the living room and work. And it just be cool and all that stuff. And then he always be trying to cook and all this stuff. I mean, it's some good cooking, I say that. But it was just a thing of conversations were just had. And I mean, he was just able to persuade me and say, well, if he do this, if he can stay one more week, then he'll be gone. I wasn't paying attention to him. And the reason why I wasn't paying attention to that is because I'm thinking, okay, well, he gonna be gone. I got a boyfriend anyway, so it don't matter. And then I will say, by the second month, because of course he didn't leave. And I had a couple of friends and a sister telling me that the reason why he stayed for 30 days or more, he was trying to have residency and access to my apartment that my first and last name, Janae Timmons, was on, and I didn't see it. And then my sister told me, my friends told me, everybody told me, I didn't see it. Family told me, I didn't see it. It's just like I was just blinded or whatever. And then that second month, it was actually different or whatever. And then I actually would sit down and just have conversations with him. And then when it got sticky was when on one night my boyfriend called and he texted, and it was just like he was just enraged. And I'm like, dude, you not my boyfriend. That was always understood. And I will say, I take responsibility for sitting down and, first of all, allowing him to even be there as long as he was. And taking responsibility and sitting down and having a conversation with him. And I guess that gave him in his mind that he thought that he could, say what he wanted to say or whatever. And that's how that went. And then it was one particular day that he walked to the store because he came down to my house with a car. And then my car had messed up. So I couldn't drive or whatever. He came down with a car. His car was messing up. And then he didn't have no money because his job that was in Mississippi, they fired him. And then, of course, he blamed me for him getting fired. And I said, well, how is you getting fired my fault? And he said, well, I was coming down here and I was trying to do this. I was trying to do this. And I stay down here. I said, no, you don't stay here. I have a boyfriend. And I said, in my mind, I started to figure out that that was a trigger. Him hearing me saying that I had a boyfriend and he was not the boyfriend. And it's just like he put me through so much. It was so much mental abuse. And then he would just say some crazy stuff that I've never heard anybody say to anybody before. And then he would make up stuff. Like in my apartments, I'm a person that's very, very polite, and I will have a conversation with anybody. So he made it so uncomfortable for people that were in my building. And there was a lady that stayed upstairs, and she saw through it. She saw through the BS. And she would ask me, am I okay? Am I okay? Am I okay? And I mean, if I know that this, if I know that as crazy as he is, if I said no, I'm not okay, and if she tried to do something or come in, then I just felt like it would be hell for me to pay. So, and then I'll be honest, I mean, I've called the police all the time. And my thinking was I was never trying to get anybody else involved. I was trying to handle it myself. So that's why I never said anything to family. And I said, well, and it's somebody, hold on one second.